A couple of simple yet useful commands are the verify and search commands. So let's talk about the verify command first. Verify is going to check for data validity errors between the data type and the actual data in the table. So again, a date field with letters in there or a numeric field with letters in there is something that it's going to quickly identify. And it quickly identifies these data format issues. Now, one example, a little bit of a false positive that I found too, is that if you have blank spaces and dates, that tends to come up as a data validity issue. And I do find that ASCII fields pretty much accept everything. So the ASCII fields are ones where it's usually not going to find anything wrong. But let's just move quickly now to the search command just to give you another one here, and then we'll go into ACL and look at both of these. The search command, otherwise known as locate if you actually type it in, and that's into a script, it's going to either allow you to get to a record number quickly, or it's going to allow you to search through files that without being indexed. We're actually going to take a sorted file and we're going to search through that, and what we're going to look for is where the first letter of the vendor name starts with, in this case we'll say L, so that it'll immediately go to L. The seek is very similar to search, but we're not going to use it today. It's really where you have an index record set and you could use seek, but we're going to use the menu bar. The menu bar is going to utilize the search location as more of a native type form of this option, and hence that's what we're going to use today for our example. So first off, let's take a look at the verify command. The verify command is going to allow us to verify, let's say, all fields in this data table. We can select them all. We have some more options. I mean, you could set the error limit to 100. 10 sometimes is a little too few and will create errors, so we could make it 100. And we can go to an output of screen or a file or a print file. If we go to a file here, we can go to a text file. But I'm just going to go to the screen because it is not meant to be a large report. And as you can tell, we got a few interesting results here where the check date is blank. And there's only 39 of them, which is good. It's good I put 100 in there. But again, when I look at that data, it's just zeros. And again, I'm using Unicode right now, so this is why we see this with a little bit of differences here. But again, we had some blanks and 0 dates in there, so that those will come up as data validity issues. Now moving over to the search function, there are, as I said, a couple of different ways of doing it. You can index your file, which we will do a bit later, and then you can find the information that way. Or we can just quickly say locate record or locate if, and with locate record we can actually put in here say 225, and we'll magically go right to record number 225. Now I know this file is quite small and it's only about 729 records, but let's imagine it was 7,290,000 records, and you kind of wanted to get to record 1,425,000 and etc. You can do that a lot quicker utilizing that search feature where, again, locate record, let's just say here we'll put in 522, and magically you're brought to 522. Now a different option is, and I've sorted this file, so let me just kind of quickly drag this over here so you see it. We have the vendor name field, and in this vendor name field there are, as you notice, a sorted set of fields here. So that's all nicely sorted. Now let's imagine I wanted to get to L in here. So we want to go A to L, and let's say, or excuse me, A to J, and then L to the rest of the end of the file, which would be down here. So one of the ways you can do that, I mean, you could filter and say vendor name equals L, but you can also go data search, locate if, and we'll put in here in this if box here, vendor name equals L, And like I do a lot of times, I mean, you can do an L trim here if you just want to be careful about that and make sure that everything is pulled over to the left. And what that'll do again is it magically brings you down there. Now, I like to do this, generally speaking, so that I can figure out what record numbers items are at for doing extractions and saying, I need to extract data. I will extract, if the record number is less than 313. So one of the things we can do, and I'll just show you this in the filter just to make this simple. In this filter, if I type in recno, which is an ACL function, and it's a little odd, you put the open parentheses, close parentheses, is less than 313. Notice here, everything will disappear except the J's now, because that 313 is where L starts. And then this, let's say again, this was 3.120,000 records, and you wanted to kind of export half the file one way and half the file another to break it up a bit. This would be a great way of doing that, where you could do the search, get to that section, take a look at it, make sure it looks okay, and then you can do this extraction.